Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, National Mecha. Invincibility starts with a million increase. Chapter 1. Have you heard? Wang Hao's father in the next class has prepared a B-level hand cannon device for him. I'm so jealous of him. My father is a 4-star mecha master. We can't compete with him. What's there to say? That's right, I don't know what type of accessories I can extract when I awaken the mecha later. As long as it's an offensive accessory, I'll be satisfied. In the corridor, Su Yong took a long breath while listening to the conversation between two passing classmates. Later, it's time to awaken the mecha. He is a time traveler. Entered this world. Compared to the original Blue Star, this world belongs to mechas. Everyone has the opportunity to awaken the companion mecha when they are 18 years old, that is, when they are in their 3rd year of high school. After the awakening is successful, they can access the Apocalypse system. You can gain Apocalypse points by killing monsters, completing tasks, and then redeeming various resources, mecha accessories, etc. in the Apocalypse system. Mecha, a man's romance. This is a saying that almost all boys knew when they were at Blue Star. Therefore, Su Yong is actually looking forward to this day. When awakening the mecha, if the awakening is successful, the Apocalypse system will also give you a chance to draw mecha accessories. Generally speaking, the level of the extracted accessories is related to the talent of the awakened mecha master. The higher the talent of a mecha master, the higher the level of accessories he can extract. The accompanying mecha only has the most basic functions. Only by equipping a variety of accessories can you continue to become stronger. Accessories are divided into auxiliary, defensive, and offensive types. In terms of levels, they are divided into S level, A level, B level, C level, D level. Among them, it is obviously the best to draw attack accessories, which can make getting started much easier. After all, for a new mobile armor master with no background or connections, entering the abyss area and killing monsters is the only chance to gain Apocalypse points. My theory class is perfect. As long as I can obtain C level or higher attack accessories, my start will definitely be smooth. Praying for himself secretly in his heart, Su Yong also followed the others and headed to the awakening room. Awakening room. Today is the day for all senior high school students in Hangzhou to awaken their mechas. Every high school has a 3-star mecha master who comes to maintain order. The level of a mecha master gradually increases from 1 to 10 stars. Once it exceeds 10 stars, it will enter the ranks of legendary mecha masters. According to legend, legendary mecha masters can even enter the space universe at will and engage in interstellar battles. What a powerful being that one aspires to be. Take back your mind. Su Yong followed the class into the awakening room. At a glance, he saw the awakening platform surrounded by a light blue halo. The man standing next to the awakening stage is named Chen Yan, a 3-star mecha master. In order to stimulate the enthusiasm of the students, he activated the combat mode of the mecha. Flame Gilt Mecha Shell, sophisticated and handsome weapon accessories. So handsome. The eyes of all the students present lit up, obviously fascinated. Everyone is about to awaken the companion mecha. No matter what accessories you draw for the first time, as long as you work hard, you will always become stronger and stronger. Your school is doing well this year. 4 students have already drawn B-level accessories. Maybe one of you will be able to draw A-level accessories. Chen Yan said with a smile, giving encouragement to the students. B-level accessories are already quite rare and powerful. Even he, a 3-star mecha master, only has 2 B-level accessories. I will definitely get A-level accessories. TCH. Then I said I would get S-level accessories. You're overthinking it. It's also an S-level accessory. I've never seen anyone sell that thing before. Who knows for sure? Don't kneel down and lick me when the time comes. Ha 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 ha, you. After a while of laughter, everyone began to wake up in order. Zhang San, the student whose name was called, walked up to the awakening stage nervously. Soon, under the influence of the Apocalypse system, his awakening began. A blue halo enveloped him, and a white mecha that fit his body shape was condensed on his body. Mecha number *** has connected to the Apocalypse system. Get a chance to draw from the accessories library. As Zhang San's mecha is connected to the Apocalypse system. With great excitement, he pressed the extraction button. Drawing in progress. Drawing successful. Acquire C-level auxiliary accessories, primary acceleration device. Not bad. Zhang San breathed a sigh of relief and grinned with satisfaction. After all, it is a C-level accessory and a highly versatile acceleration device, which is already quite good. Next, John Doe. Mecha number *** has connected to the Apocalypse system. Drawing in progress. Drawing successful. Get a D-level defensive accessory, Alpha Energy Barrier. Ah, why is it D-level? Although the accessories extracted are average. But as long as he can successfully awaken, he has surpassed most people. Next, Wang Wu. Awakening failed. Next, Zhang Qi. Awakening failed. Next, Su Yang. After the first 2 students who successfully awakened, 5 people failed to awaken in a row. Finally, it's Su Yang's turn. Everyone's attention was attracted by Su Yang. They want to know, what kind of accessories can Su Yang, the schoolboy and the perennial number 1 holder of the theoretical class score at Hangcheng number 3 middle school, get? Generally speaking, according to statistics, the selection of accessories is not completely random, but is determined based on the talent of the mecha host. If nothing unexpected happens, Su Yang will definitely draw B-level or higher accessories, right? Under the gaze of everyone, Su Yang took a deep breath and stood on the awakening stage. A blue halo swept across. A mecha that fits Su Yang's physical characteristics was condensed. Fits 100%, like a combat jacket. This means, the awakening is successful. Mecha number *** has connected to the Apocalypse system. After the mecha is connected to the Apocalypse system, the mecha master can directly see the panel of the Apocalypse system. Su Yang's eyes were firm as he clicked the button to extract accessories. Drawing in progress. Drawing successful. Get an A-level attack accessory, the Energy Lightsaber. Wow, A-level detachable attack accessories. Su Shen is awesome. As the sound of the Apocalypse system announcement sounded, the awakening room suddenly burst into excitement. Everyone looked at Su Yang with envy. Even Chen Yan, who is a 3-star mecha master, is extremely yearning for it at this time. A-level Energy Lightsaber. His attack accessories are machine gun weapons. The power of the attack is very limited. It has a certain lethality against 3-star monsters, but there is no way to deal with 4-star monsters. But the blade of the Energy Lightsaber is made of energy. As long as the level rises, you can even easily cut through the body of a 5-star monster. How could he not be envious of this? A-level Energy Lightsaber. On the awakening stage, Su Yang's breathing became a little rapid. Looking at the lightsaber slowly forming in his hand, his eyes were excited. Separate weapon accessories are the dream of many people. Handsome and powerful. Level A Energy Light Sword. Initial energy level 2. Energy consumption 10 units per second. He glanced at the panel of the Energy Light Sword. The corners of Su Yang's mouth raised unconsciously. Energy level symbolizes the destructive power of the weapon. Energy level 2 means that this Energy Light Sword can cut through the body of a 2-star monster. Come on, his starting point is far higher than others. However, just when Su Yang was about to leave the awakening stage, in my mind, a mechanical sound suddenly came. The million-fold amplification system is being bound. Binding successful. System. Su Yang's footsteps paused. But soon, he pretended that nothing happened and returned to the crowd. Su Shen, please take me with you. Shen Su looks familiar to me. Su Shen, please help me form a team. Countless boys came together. I just want Su Yang to be familiar with them. As for the girls who originally had a crush on Su Yang, at this time, everyone was puffing up their young chests, wishing they could stick directly to Su Yang's side. It's just that Su Yang ignored them and found a seat with few people to close his eyes and rest his mind, so that no one could disturb her anymore. The awakening of the people continues. Su Yang began to study the system he bound. Million times amplification system. The functionality of this system is simple. You only need to consume a certain amount of Apocalypse points to draw and increase opportunity. After getting the opportunity to increase the level, you can increase the level of the mecha itself or accessories such as weapons. In short, the function is very simple, but very powerful. Binding for the first time, you will be given a chance to win a high-level drawing. Advanced drawing opportunities starting from 1000 times. Advanced draw opportunities starting with 1000 times. 1000-fold increase. Awesome. Su Yong thought for a while. Use this drawing opportunity directly. Amplification multiplier is being drawn. The draw is successful. Get weapon 10000 times increase. Su Yong. It will increase 10,000 times as soon as it comes up. Please select the amplification object. The amplification opportunity cannot be reserved and will disappear in 3 minutes. Amplified weapon energy lightsaber. Su Yong didn't hesitate. Directly select the target for growth. Class A separate weapon energy lightsaber close double angle bracket SSS level separate weapon energy nuclear weapon sword. Su Yong. Yuan Nang. Nuclear sword. Just from the name alone. It's like it's something awesome. Do you want to be so cruel? Su Yong held his breath and looked at the panel of the Yuan Nang nuclear weapon sword. SSS level Yuan Nang nuclear sword. Initial energy level 8. Consumption 10,000 per second. Characteristics. Energy absorption. This weapon is equipped with an advanced energy core, which can absorb the energy from the universe and store it, and can be used without consuming mecha energy. Reserve energy 0.1 100,000. Initial energy level 0.8. Su Yong took a sharp breath. You know, energy levels increase exponentially. Energy level 8, that is a terrifying power that can easily destroy a city. It's equivalent to a nuclear explosion. The key is, this is just the initial elemental nuclear weapon sword. If only the level of my mecha were improved, its power will definitely increase. The most important thing is, if there is no Yuan energy absorption feature, Su Yong may not be able to use this weapon for a long time. Su Yong simply cannot afford the energy it requires. But now, it has the property of absorbing energy. There is no need to inject energy at all, just let it charge slowly by itself. Once charged, Su Yong can use Yuan Nang nuclear sword for 10 seconds. By then, every sword will be as powerful as a nuclear explosion. Invincible. True invincibility. What is cheating? This is called cheating. Those online novels are still too conservative in their writing, etc. Su Yong suddenly realized a problem. My own A-level energy lightsaber has been amplified into SSS level energy nuclear weapon sword. Will this be discovered by the Apocalypse system? This system has a higher level than the Apocalypse system and can be overridden, so the host does not need to worry. And this system provides a transmogrification function. Any weapons and accessories can maintain their original form. I see. Full service is all about comfort. This time Su Yong was completely relieved. The next awakening was unremarkable. One person awakened B-level weapon accessories, which caused a small sensation. But compared with Su Yong, it pales into insignificance. Eventually, the awakening ends. A total of 62 people underwent awakening. There are 22 people who have successfully awakened. 2 people drew B-level accessories. 1 person drew A-level accessories. The rest are C-level and D-level accessories. In the envious eyes of everyone, Su Yong and the other 2 people who had drawn B-level accessories were left behind. After everyone left, Chen Yan looked at the 3 of them and smiled. Don't be nervous. Since you can extract B-level and above accessories, it means that your talents are quite good. I have already reported your awakening results to the Mecha Association. It is estimated that you will receive corresponding gifts in a while. Gift. Su Yong was thoughtful. After a while, there was a ding sound. Apocalypse points received. 5W. Transferee. Hangzhou Mecha Association. I see. Although this world is a world of mechas. But wherever there are people, there will be people in sophistication. Allocating some resources to talented people with better talents in order to establish a friendly relationship is naturally a traditional project. All go. 10,000 Tianqi points. Edge. The 2 of them exclaimed. The person who draws B-level accessories only has 10,000 points. It seems that my 50,000 points are already quite a lot. You got it all. When several people were excited, Chen Yan asked with a smile. He could see that compared to the other 2, Su Yong was obviously calmer when receiving the gift of Tianqi points. He is indeed a so-called genius, he thought in his mind. This is a gift from the Hangzhou Mecha Association to help you get started. 10,000 points are enough for you to configure a better set of accessories in Tianqi Mall. Whether it's going to the abyss to hunt monsters or completing the tasks commissioned by the Apocalypse system, it will be much easier. This is a kind of goodwill from Hangzhou to you, and we don't seek hard rewards. I just hope that when Hangzhou encounters any difficulties in the future, you can lend a helping hand. Of course, it only needs to be within your capabilities. Those beyond your capabilities will never come to you. Clear. The two nodded excitedly. It was as if he had seen his handsome figure, fully armed, killing everyone in the abyss. In contrast, Su Yang also nodded. This condition is completely acceptable. Okay, there's nothing else to do next. Go back to class and see how the school arranges it. Okay. Wow, that's Su Yang. Did you hear about it? He got an A-level weapon accessory. That's so cruel. It's been several years since anyone in our school got an A-level accessory, right? As expected of Senior Su, he's so handsome and so talented. Look how red your face is. Stop being such a nympho. It's so embarrassing. Tisk, Senior Su is a male god. I am a nymphomaniac and I am proud. Walking back to class, Su Yang was naturally surrounded by the younger students. Being able to extract A-level accessories, even if placed in the entire Hangzhou, he is considered a top genius. As for the other two people who drew B-level accessories, they should also enjoy the envy of everyone. However, Su Yang was so dazzling that people simply ignored the two of them. Speaking of which, it's quite frustrating. As for Su Yang himself, he remained calm. Grade A. If they knew. Now, what I have is actually an SSS-level weapon with city blasting power. What kind of reaction will I have? Return to class. The head teacher announced the next arrangements. All senior high school students have a week off. Those who have successfully awakened can use it to get familiar with the newly awakened mecha. Awakening losers is used to adjust your mentality and think carefully about what you plan to do in the future. Wait until a week later. All students who have successfully awakened. The school will issue you a complete set of E-class accessories. If your family has the conditions and resources, you can use the resources at home to strengthen your armor. Of course, if you think you are capable, you can try to go to the first level of the abyss, hunt monsters, and earn points. The theoretical lessons you studied in school are enough to support you in using the original mecha to kill monsters on the first level of the abyss. The only thing you need to consider is whether the income from doing this can cover the damage to the mecha and accessories. That's right, mechas can also be damaged. Each person can only own one companion mecha. Once the mecha is completely damaged, he will become an ordinary person and will never have the chance to become a mecha master. After school, as long as the awakening is successful, they all summoned their own mechas. Before there were mechas, they might need to take a car, ride a bike, etc. to get home. But now that I have a mecha, I naturally want to experience it. Even summoning mechas requires energy. It can't stop everyone's fiery hearts. Su Yang, of course, is no exception. So fast. Streamlined gray-black mecha, shines with a very handsome metallic luster. The mecha wears an energy lightsaber on its waist, attracting admiring glances from a large number of people. LV.0 Initial Mecha. Energy Reserve 1000 units of energy. Attributes. Maximum Strength 200 kilograms. Maximum Speed 20 meters per second. Maximum Defense 800 energy. Upgrade Experience 100. The initial mecha that everyone awakens has similar attributes. According to the analysis of the existing database, the basic attribute values of the initial mecha are: maximum strength 200 kilograms, maximum speed 20 meters per second, maximum defense 800 energy. That's right, the companion mecha awakened by Su Yang. In terms of basic attributes, they all reached the maximum value. It can be said that even if the million amplification system is not bound, Su Yang can definitely become a powerful mecha master with his own talent alone. Keep going. Both speed and reaction have been greatly improved. When on the road, it can even overtake moving vehicles. As for passers-by, in this day and age, it is natural that things are not strange. But the envy is still uncontrollable. Su Yang's home is located in a relatively remote area of Hangzhou. Just like the standard equipment of all time travelers, Su Yang's parents are both mecha masters. But he died while performing a mission in the abyss a few years ago. As for sisters and brothers, I don't have any, so I'm all alone. SSS level Yuanong nuclear weapon sword. If it doesn't charge, it should be a pretty powerful weapon, right? Take off the Yuanong nuclear weapon sword from your waist. Its transformation is only effective for outsiders. Su Yang can see its true form. The streamlined sword body was made of unknown material, and the central channel shone with a heart-stopping light. The delicate and mysterious energy circuits are enough to amaze you just by looking at them. Would you like to give it a try? Su Yang was thinking about trying out the power of the uncharged Yuannang nuclear sword. But after taking a look at my home, I forgot about it. It would be bad if you accidentally become homeless. 50,000 apocalypse points. It is indeed a considerable amount of startup capital. Put away that Yuannang nuclear sword. Su Yang chose to connect to the Tianqi system. Apocalypse system number ****. Access. Sporadic Mecha Master Su Yang. Permission level. Level 1. Tianqi Mall. Apocalypse Commission. Apocalypse Illustrated Book. .. Enter Tianqi Mall. Since the authority level is only 1, the highest level accessories that can be purchased are B level. Attack type. Defense. Auxiliary category. Consumption props. ... Generally speaking, the basic equipment of the initial mecha is an attack accessory, an auxiliary accessory, and a defense accessory. Attack accessories Su Yang are not needed at the moment. Choose one auxiliary accessory and one defensive accessory each. Class B Magnetic Energy Acceleration Device 1W points. Time required to accelerate 2 seconds. Energy consumption 40 energy per second. Maximum speed 50 meters per second. Class B Air Energy Acceleration Device 1W points. Time required to accelerate 4 seconds. Energy consumption 20 energy per second. Maximum speed 40 meters per second. Sea level. Su Yang hesitated a little. Finally, I chose Class B Magnetic Energy Acceleration Device. Compared with the Class B Air Energy Acceleration Device, its explosion is faster and its maximum speed is also faster. The only disadvantage is that it consumes more energy. But for Su Yang, faster speed means a higher operating limit. Deduct 10,000 apocalypse points and obtain B-level Magnetic Energy Acceleration Device. As a burst of blue light appeared, the Magnetic Energy Acceleration Device appeared in front of Su Yang. But Su Yang has not equipped it on the mecha for the time being. Buy another defensive accessory. Level B Pulse Energy Shield. Class C Titanium Alloy Shield. ... Level B Pulse Energy Shield 1W points. Accessory. Converts the energy injected into it into pulses, which can resist energy damage 1.5 times of the injected energy. Maximum injection energy 500 units. Grade C Titanium Alloy Shield 3000 points. Separate defense equipment can resist physical attacks, but has poor resistance to energy attacks and is easy to lose. ... Deduct 10,000 apocalypse points and obtain Level B Pulse Energy Shield. ... Perfect. After all this is done, Su Yang looked at his remaining 30,000 Tianqi points. At the same time, the panel of the Million Amplification System was summoned. Primary Amplification Draw Opportunity 10x 100x, 1W Apocalypse Points. Intermediate Amplification Draw Opportunity 100 times 1000 times, 50,000 Apocalypse Points. Advanced Amplification Draw Opportunity 1000 times 10000 times, 200,000 Apocalypse Points. Top Amplification Draw Opportunity 10,000 times 100,000 times, 1 million Apocalypse Points. God Level Amplification Draw Opportunity 100,000 times 1 million times, 5 million Apocalypse Points. Good guy. It turns out that at that time, I directly extracted the highest increase multiple of the advanced increase opportunity, which was 10,000 times. Now, purchase 2 copies, get a chance to draw a primary boost, consume 20,000 apocalypse points. Drawing in progress. Drawing successful. 80 times. 100 times. Please select the target. Another top grid increase. Su Yang grinned, full of expectations. 100 times increase, Pulse Energy Shield. 80 times increase, Magnetic Energy Acceleration Device. Among the accessories, attack and defense accessories are obviously the most important. The integration of offense and defense will undoubtedly greatly improve combat effectiveness. Therefore, Su Yong chose to apply the 100-fold increase to Pulse Energy Shield. Level B Pulse Energy Shield has been increased to Level A Double Pulse Light Shield. Level A Double Pulse Light Shield. The energy shield is modified and improved based on the Pulse Energy Shield. With a dual structure, it improves a large amount of defense. The transmission efficiency of the energy circuit has been increased several times, and the injected energy can be increased by 10 times for defense. The maximum injected energy is 1,000 units. A 100-fold increase. Directly increase the level of B-level Pulse Energy Shield to Double Pulse Light Shield. It was originally able to withstand damage of 1.5*500,750 units of energy, but now it has been directly upgraded to 10*1000, a full 10,000 units of defense energy. More than 10 times improvement. The multiple of the increase affects the quality, not just based on the numerical value. It's pretty good to be able to upgrade from B level to A level. Su Yong is a contented person. It is impossible to pursue why the defensive energy is not increased by 100 times. Next, is the Magnetic Energy Acceleration Device. Level B Magnetic Energy Acceleration Device increases to Level B Energy Flame Acceleration Device. Class B Energy Flame Acceleration Device. The top acceleration device in the B-class series can even fly short distances. Maximum speed 80 meters per second. Energy consumption 60 units per second. Flight status 120 units per second. Hiss. Su Yong took a breath. Although the 80-fold increase did not allow the Magnetic Energy Acceleration Device to break through to Class A, it upgraded it to the highest specification among Class B acceleration accessories. Energy Flame Acceleration Device. A famous presence among B-class acceleration accessories. At the expense of its violent energy consumption rate, it provides a terrifying speed of nearly 80 meters per second. It is the only accessory that can give low-level mecha masters the ability to fly. Flight. In combat, the help it can provide is immense. Generally speaking, those low-level monsters have no anti-air combat capabilities. In this way, the battle instantly became a one-sided crushing. Perfect. The remaining 10,000 Apocalypse points can be used to buy some energy supplements, and then you can go to the Abyss and have your first battle. The initial mecha's energy reserve device can only store up to 1,000 units of energy. Once the energy is exhausted, it can only be restored naturally or by using energy supplements. Natural recovery takes a long time, so many mecha masters will prepare some energy supplements before battle. However, although energy supplement can replenish the mecha's energy instantly, it cannot be used unlimitedly. For example, Su Yang's accompanying mecha has an initial energy capacity of up to 1,000 units, and an energy load limit of 5,000 units. This means that it can be replenished up to 4 times through energy supplement. If this number is exceeded, the mecha's energy core will be irreversibly damaged. Energy supplements are so expensive. After reluctantly spending 2,000 points to purchase 4 copies of 1,000 unit energy supplement. Everything's ready. Now, set off. Head to the Abyss. Abyss. When the Apocalypse system came, they appeared together. It was an unknown space, filled with chaotic and violent monsters, and also filled with various opportunities. Of course, after centuries of exploration, the first few levels of the Abyss have been explored. Not only are there detailed maps of the Abyss, there are even temporary bases built by the human government. As for opportunities, nature has become very rare. Its function is mainly to allow new mobile armor masters to train and hone themselves. In every country in the world, there are main entrances to the Abyss. Through the space teleportation device, every human city is connected to the secondary entrance of the Abyss. At this time, Su Yong has arrived at the Abyss Jurisdiction Bureau in Hangzhou. The new mecha master who just awakened. You don't need to get familiar with it for a few days and then go straight into the Abyss to experience it. The young lady in charge of reception looked away from Su Yang's handsome face and asked in surprise. Today is the day when all senior high school students in Hangzhou will awaken their mechas, and almost everyone knows about it. At this time, not long after the awakening, I guess I am not even proficient in controlling mechas. I am sure. Su Yong chuckled and nodded, indicating his intention. All right, The receptionist didn't say anything more when she saw this. The Abyss Authority has regulations that as long as a mecha master voluntarily enters the Abyss, they cannot be prevented. Excuse me, classmate, do you need to purchase a Abyss Level 1 map? It requires 200 Apocalypse points. Need. Okay, please open the information flow interface. Su-Yung nodded, summoned the mecha, stretched out his index finger, and opened the information flow interface. The receptionist plugged in something like a USB flash drive, uploaded the map information on the first floor of the Abyss, and then unplugged it. Information flow detected. Map of the Abyss Level 1. The mecha's neural connection system reported, and a holographic 3D map slowly emerged in front of Su-Yang's eyes. On it, not only the location of the temporary base is marked, but also the types and strengths of monsters in different locations are marked, which is extremely convenient. After the preparations are completed, follow the reception girl's guidance. Su-Yung moved forward, arriving at the teleportation entrance connecting to the Abyss. The Invincible Journey. Start from the Abyss. The first level of the Abyss. Daxia number 24 temporary base. Su-Yang's figure slowly appeared here. The Abyss is huge. Even though it is only the first level, its area is comparable to that of a small country. Therefore, governments of various countries have built a large number of temporary bases in the Abyss to provide rest, shelter, and supplies for the mecha masters. The temporary base number 24 that Su-Yung was teleported to was a small base with only 3 or 4 people around it. In school, every student will study a manual called the Abyss Manual. Mentioned above, there is some special force in the Abyss that can affect people's minds. The accompanying mecha can greatly reduce this effect. Do not take off the mecha unless necessary. As the Abyss becomes deeper and stays there longer, this force becomes stronger. Quote. Therefore, general small and medium-sized temporary base. There are no personnel stationed, and the entire base is fully mechanical and automated. Only large bases will be staffed by shift personnel. Temporary base No. 24. Su-Yung called up the holographic map and took a look. On the edge of temporary base number 24, there are 3 monster communities. These 3 monster groups are all 1-star monsters. Each time you kill one, you can get 1 Apocalypse point. Let's try our hands at them first. After making the decision, Su-Yung walked towards the exit of the temporary base. The several mecha masters he met waved to him in a friendly manner. It can be seen from the crude accessories on their bodies that they should be new mobile armor masters like Su-Yung. Leave the temporary base. Su-Yung headed towards one of the monster colonies. Since the distance was not too far, Su-Yung did not use the energy flame acceleration device, saving as much energy as possible. After a while, on top of a hill, Su-Yung watched the monster community below from a distance. At the same time, the Apocalypse Illustrated book is opened. 1-star monster Wind Wolf. Kill points, 1 point. Attributes: speed 20 meters per second. Strength, 80 kilograms. Ability Wind Blade. Introduction: this monster is agile and has average strength, but it can control a certain amount of wind elemental power to cause cutting damage. Recommendation: kill with long-range attacks, or lure a large group of wind wolves at the same time and let them attack actively. Otherwise, new mobile armor masters may not be able to catch up with them. Uploader Mecha No. 3,231,384. Apocalypse Illustrated book. Any biometric data that has not been entered can be uploaded. Depending on the strength level of the uploaded creature, you can get different numbers of Apocalypse points rewards. Now that it has been a long time since the advent of the mecha era, there are almost no undiscovered creatures in the first few layers of the Abyss. Long-range attacks, none at the moment. Su-Yung glanced at his Yuan Nang nuclear sword. Charging 26 100,000ths. If the charge reaches 10,000, he can carry out long-range attacks, or nuclear explosion-level long-range attacks. But now, luring a horde of wind wolves. It seems like no one has hunted this group of wind wolves recently. The population is estimated to be over 100. Su-Yung thought about it. Decided to give it a try. Calling out the accessories panel. Equip flame energy acceleration device and double pulse light shield. As Su-Yung gave the order, the flame energy acceleration device was loaded onto the back of the mecha. The double pulse light shield is loaded onto the wrist of the mecha. After loading is complete, Su Yang jumped down from the hill. When he was about to land, he used the flame energy acceleration device to offset part of the impact and landed steadily. But despite this, smoke and dust were still raised all over the place, attracting the attention of the wind wolves. Roar! There are hundreds of wind wolves. Under the leadership of the alpha wolf, he looked at the outsider Su Yang with cruel eyes. In their perception, Su Yang's strength is very weak. Therefore, the alpha wolf directly issued an attack order. Roar! 100 wolves roared together. The sound is quite shocking. He looked at the wind wolves rushing towards him like a wave. Su Yang didn't panic at all. He first activated the low-energy form of double pulse light shield and formed a light shield around his body for defense. Then, he took out that Yuan Nang nuclear weapon sword and held it in his hand. Call out. 4 wind wolves pounced. Su Yang made a casual stroke. PFF'd. Several wind wolves collectively exploded instantly and turned into blood mist. Drain energy. Charge +2. Ha! Su Yang was slightly stunned. Good guy. Is this elemental nuclear sword also equipped with a biological energy core that can draw energy from the monster's body for recharging? Aha! Another sword. Another 5 wind wolves were killed instantly. Drain energy. Charge +3. Really? Killing monsters will allow that Yuan Nang nuclear sword to absorb energy. It is indeed an SSS level weapon, powerful. Suddenly, Su Yang became more motivated to kill the wind wolves. Even if it does not use energy, just as a cold weapon, the Yuan Nang nuclear sword is extremely powerful. It's like having a magic weapon in hand. Whenever it touches the wind wolf's body, it will instantly kill them. Cool. The corners of Su Yang's mouth couldn't help but raise. If it is an energy light sword, it also requires energy injection. But now, it's zero cost. Moreover, just the low energy consumption double pulse light shield is enough to block the attack of the wind wolves. Your own accompanying mecha will not suffer any loss. Call. After taking a deep breath, Su Yang stretched. It lasted 12 minutes, and all 137 wind wolves were killed. Earn a total of 137 apocalypse points, as well as a large amount of recyclable materials. There are always various materials that can be used on various monsters. For example, the teeth of the wind wolf are one of the materials used to make low-level cold weapons. Apocalypse's recycling system, a set of 50 wind wolf fangs only costs 10 points. The Apocalypse system has its own material recycling function. However, the price is about 20% lower than the market price, and the emphasis is on convenience and speed. Anyway, Fanglang's teeth are small and don't take up much space, so we won't recycle them for now. With this in mind, Su Yang put all the wind wolf teeth into the low-level storage space. Low-level storage space is an auxiliary accessory that every student who awakens the companion mecha will receive. The storage space is about 1 cubic meter. In order to resist Wind Wolf's wind blade, 500 units of energy were consumed to maintain the double pulse light shield, and the mecha itself consumed about 100 units of energy. The most important thing is, the mecha has been upgraded to a level. Su Yang's eyes sparkled. In the abyss, the apocalypse points accumulated from killing monsters are actually the experience needed to upgrade the companion mecha. This time, by wiping out the wind wolves, a total of 137 apocalypse points were obtained, which is also 137 experience points. The experience required for the initial LV.0 mecha upgrade is only 100. LV.1 Initial Mecha. Energy Reserve 1100 units. Attributes. Maximum Strength 200 kg Close double angle bracket 210 kg. Maximum Speed 20 meters per second Close double angle bracket 21 meters per second. Maximum Defense 800 units of energy Close double angle bracket 900 units of energy. It seems that the attributes increased by level 1 are not many. But in fact, this is already the largest property growth. Generally speaking, the range of energy reserve improvement for each level is 10 to 100 units. The range of maximum strength improvement is 1 to 10 kg. The magnitude of the increase is related to the talent of the mecha master. It can be seen from this. How terrifying is Su Yang's talent? He is a genius in himself, and with the addition of plugins, he can be summed up in 2 words: invincible. There are still 2 monster colonies left. If everything is solved, we should be able to upgrade to LV.2. Su Yong glanced at the marks on the map and set off directly. After Su Yong left, more than 10 minutes passed. 2 mecha figures appeared at his original location. The companion mecha fits the human body and is more like a mechanical coat. Therefore, one can easily tell that the 2 of them are women through their body curves. One of them is taller and has more obvious curves, named Chen Loyan. The other person is a little petite and has gentler curves, named Chen Anan. The 2 are biological sisters, and they are also among the top students in No. 1 middle school in Hangzhou. When awakening the companion mecha, both sisters extracted A-level accessories, which caused a sensation in the entire number 1 middle school. Ah, why were the Wind Wolves wiped out in advance? At this time, my sister Chen Anan exclaimed, looking at the battlefield full of blood and Feng Lang's corpse. Her little face was full of surprise. It shouldn't be. We got this task. Logically speaking, no one else can compete with us. Sister Chen Loyan said with a frown. At the same time, the task delegation interface of Tianqi system was opened. Hangcheng level 1 commission monster killing. Kill 10 wind wolves, or 1 red sun tiger, or 1 violent bear. Task reward, 1000 apocalypse points. Task time, 48 hours. Access limit, 0-star Mecha Master. The Apocalypse system will issue different commission tasks according to the region. These commission tasks are refreshed in real time. Once claimed, they cannot be claimed by other Mecha Masters unless the task fails. At the same time, in order to protect the rights and interests of low-level Mecha Masters, delegated tasks have corresponding restrictions. High-level Mecha Masters cannot accept low-level missions. But, a low-level Mecha Master can take on high-level missions. After all, some low-level Mecha Masters possess combat power beyond their level. Forget it, now that the Wind Wolves have been wiped out, let's go check out the territories of the Red Sun Tiger and the Violent Bear. Chen Loyan made a decision immediately. Both are 1-star monsters, but Wind Wolf is weak individually and prefers to live in groups. The Red Sun Tiger and the Violent Bear are much stronger individually and prefer to travel alone. Only 2 people need to work together to kill a Red Sun Tiger or a Violent Bear to complete the commission task. Hehe, okay, anyway, we are all here to test the power of the weapons, no matter what kind of monster. Chen Anan didn't care about this. She just wanted to try the power of her A-level energy light cannon. Then let's go. Let's go. The other side. Su Yong has arrived at the second location marked on the map. Here, there lives the same 1-star but much more powerful monster, the Qiang Tiger. 1-star monster Qiang Tiger. Kill points, 5 points. Attributes, speed, 30 meters per second. Power, 220 kilograms. Ability, self-destruction. Introduction, the Qiang Tiger is extremely agile, and its power exceeds that of the initial mecha. It is an extremely ferocious monster. Recommendation, before dying, the Qiang Tiger will self-destruct, forming a very powerful explosion. It is recommended to kill it with long-range attacks. Uploader, Mecha No. 334,678. 5 points for killing one. I don't know how many there are in this place. As for its self-destruction before death, there is no need to consider it with the A-level double pulse light shield. The Qiang Tiger is a 1-star monster after all. Its self-destruction power is capped at level 1. The difference in energy levels. 1000, the first energy level. 1000, 10000, the second energy level. 10000, 10000, the third energy level. By analogy, each energy level is increased by 10 times. Yuan Nang Nuclear Weapon Sword, an SSS level separate weapon. Consuming 10,000 units of energy, it can release the power of the 8th energy level, nuclear explosion level. It is equivalent to raising the second energy level to the 8th energy level. This terrifying efficiency of energy utilization and release is the source of its SSS level quality. Even if the self-destruction reaches the limit of the first energy level, it only needs to inject 100 units of energy into the double pulse light shield to completely resist it. It's well equipped, it's really cool. Su Yong raised his lips slightly and began to search for the Qiang Tiger in the area. 5 minutes later, Su Yang found the first Chiang tiger. This is definitely an extremely ferocious monster. Those terrifying fangs as thick as forearms can even bite through the initial mecha if not defended. You can say that any mecha master who has just completed his awakening. No one would want to face such a monster. The speed is 30 meters per second, which exceeds the maximum speed of the initial mecha of 20 meters per second. The strength, 220 kilograms, exceeds the limit of 200 kilograms of the initial mecha. Anyway, if Su Yang wasn't a loser, it would definitely be more difficult to deal with it just by relying on the energy light sword. As for now, just die and that's it. Roar. The Chiang tiger is a tiger monster after all. The pressure of a top predator is much stronger than that of a wind wolf. That low roar was full of disdain for Su Yang. Perhaps in the eyes of the Chiang tiger, Su Yang was just the prey that came to the door. However, when the Chiang tiger charged at Su Yang with a predator's mentality, Su Yang raised his hand and slashed it into two halves. After those two pieces of corpses fell to the ground, maybe it would regret that it didn't sleep with a few more tigresses during its tiger birth. When he is about to die, he will choose to self-destruct. Then as long as there is no near-death state and you go directly from birth to death, there will be no self-destruction. Well, that seems to be the case. Apocalypse points +5. After collecting the points, Su Yang's eyes fell on Chiang Hu's body. Compared to Feng Lang, this Chiang tiger is full of treasures. Chiang tiger fang is a more advanced forging material than Fenglang fang, and tiger meat and tiger heart are even more powerful. Even though this is the era of mechas, mecha masters themselves are also very important. Su Yang remembers studying it in school. As the mecha master's level increases, the connection between the mecha and the mecha master will become closer. At that time, the physical fitness of the mecha master will also become a key factor in determining combat effectiveness. Red Sun Tiger Fangs, 2 of them can recover 20 points. Chiang Tiger Meat and Tiger Heart, I keep the best parts for myself and sell the rest. I wonder how many are left. After disposing of the body, Su Yang looked around excitedly. But after searching for a long time, I finally found the other 2 Chiang tigers. Su Yang decided to wait until she had enough points to buy the life detection auxiliary accessories. In this way, it will be much easier when looking for monsters in a large area, and you no longer have to bump into each other like a headless fly. Sister, look at that, the top of a small hill. Chen Anan pointed at the figure not far away and blinked. He is hunting the Chiang tiger. Did he also destroy the group of wind wolves before? Compared to her sister Chen Anan, Chen Luoyan seems much calmer. Watching Chiang Hu being easily killed by the figure with one sword, he didn't even have time to self-destruct. That thing in his hand is an A-class detachable weapon, an energy lightsaber. The device on the back, is it a Class B magnetic energy acceleration device? What Chen Luoyan could see were these 2 accessories. At the same time, the mecha master's level increases every time. A ring of light will form on the mecha's wrist. There is no ring of light on the wrist of the figure in front of him, which means that he is a 1-star mecha master like them. Ordinary 1-star mecha masters don't have the strength to assemble such luxurious accessories. Therefore, there are only 2 possibilities. First, he is a genius in major high schools. He draws A-level accessories, and then uses point rewards to purchase other B-level accessories for himself. Secondly, he has a strong family background and can help purchase high-end accessories. Anyway, this 1-star mecha master is definitely not an ordinary person. After thinking for a moment, Chen Luoyan took her sister Chen Anan and walked towards the figure. Looking at the 2 figures gradually approaching not far away. Su Yang, who was handling the body of the Chiang tiger, raised his head and cast a curious look at the 2 of them. Hello. The visitors were 2 girls. He seems to have a more polite attitude. We are from Hangcheng No. 1 Middle School and accepted a commission to hunt the Chiang tiger. So I was wondering if you could give us a Chiang tiger. From Hangcheng No. 1 Middle School. Delegate a task. Su Yang's eyes narrowed slightly. Before I came to the abyss, I also refreshed the commission tasks of the Apocalypse system, but I didn't see any suitable ones. It seems that my luck is still not very good. Anyway, since they are from No. One middle school, it means that the two of them have just awakened. They just woke up and came to hunt monsters like Chiang Tiger. These two people in no. One middle school must be genius level figures, right? Su Yang didn't know much about no. One middle school, but she seemed to vaguely remember that there was a pair of sisters in number. One middle school who were ranked first and second all year round. In the joint entrance examination of all middle schools in Hangzhou, I was ranked first, and they seemed to be second and third respectively. Could it be? What a coincidence. Did you happen to meet them? Thinking of this, Su Yang was about to speak. Suddenly, a storm struck without warning. This kind of storm is not a storm in the ordinary sense, but a storm with abyss energy as the main body, which can cause great damage to mechas. Following this, there was also a wireless broadcast from the temporary base. Alarm, alarm, alarm. Please all personnel outside please return to the temporary base immediately. Please all personnel outside please return to the temporary base immediately. Level 2 Abyss Storm is coming. Level 2 Abyss Storm is coming. Abyssal Storm. Still Level 2. In an instant. Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan's faces instantly turned pale. Abyssal Storm. This is a disaster in the abyss. But the frequency of occurrence is extremely low. Especially shallow abyss. In recent decades, there has never been an abyssal storm. Why are you so unlucky to be met by them directly? Just when the two sisters were in panic, Su Yang was actually holding on. He had only learned about abyssal storms in theoretical classes at school. As the mecha's perception system became blurry, he could feel that his mecha was being destroyed. But just when Su Yang was about to activate the double pulse light shield to try to offset part of the energy damage of the abyss storm, he suddenly discovered it. The charge of Yuan Nang nuclear sword is constantly soaring. This is. Su Yang's eyes suddenly fell on that Yuan Nang nuclear sword. The abyss storm is an existence that changes the color of all mecha masters who enter the abyss. Because the energy contained in it comes from the depths of the abyss, it has a terrifyingly destructive effect on mechas. The result was unexpected. Yuan Nang nuclear sword can actually absorb the energy in this abyss storm. You know, in the mecha era, the types of energy have been studied quite thoroughly. However, the research on abyssal energy is still at a very superficial level. At least, it has not yet reached the level of public awareness. However, the charge of Yuan Nang nuclear sword is soaring at an extremely fast speed. Not only that, the abyss storm that originally swept over had its energy absorbed, and even formed a small vacuum area with Su Yang as its core. This means that the energy absorption core of Yuan Nang nuclear sword can not only absorb the Yuan energy in the universe and the biological energy of monsters, but can even absorb the energy of the abyss. What level of energy core is this? Su Yang doesn't know. But definitely, very strong. Yuan Nang nuclear sword charge, 1321. It hasn't been long. The charge has reached about 1003. At this time, Su Yang realized, this is an opportunity. You must catch it yourself. If nothing else happens, it is very likely that I will be able to accumulate the opportunity to use that Yuan Nang nuclear sword next time. Think of this. Su Yang looked at the pale-faced sisters Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan. No matter how good their theoretical class scores are, the two sisters are still just high school girls. At this time, I saw the abyss storm for the first time, and the mecha's neural perception system was being eroded and destroyed, and I didn't know what to do. Run! Su Yang yelled at the two of them. He reached out and gave the two of them a push. This roar and a push finally brought the two sisters back from their daze. Overload your acceleration device to the limit, turn on the defensive shield, reduce the neural perception system to the greatest extent, follow the map route, and return to the temporary base at full speed. Su Yang said calmly. There is an inexplicable aura about him that is convincing. After all, he is the man who takes the first place in theory classes in Hangzhou all year round, so he is quite reliable. Ah, good. Chen Luoyan and Chen Anan also reacted quickly. Since they all drew A-level accessories when they awakened, they received a starting capital reward of 50,000 apocalypse points. Before coming to the abyss, he was equipped with a full set of accessories like Su Yang, including acceleration devices, defense devices. At this time, under the threat of the abyss storm, the two people immediately followed what Su Yang said. Overload the acceleration device to the limit, activate the whole body defense at the same time, and reduce the neural perception system. This series of operations can minimize the impact of the abyssal storm on the mecha and the mecha master. After sisters Chen Luoyan and Chen Anan left, Su Yang followed them closely. At the speed of energy flame acceleration device, able to easily surpass them and return to the temporary base. But Su Yang has to stay behind and keep absorbing the energy of the abyss. Seeing the charge of Yuan Nang nuclear sword rising continuously, Su Yang was in a good mood. Hangzhou Abyss Jurisdiction Bureau. Alarm, alarm. Level 1 of the abyss. An abyss crack appears within the temporary base number 24, resulting in a level 2 abyss storm. Level 2 of the abyss. An abyss crack appears within the temporary base number 32, resulting in a level 3 abyss storm. Level 3 of the abyss. An abyss crack appears within the temporary base number 47, resulting in a level 4 abyss storm. The sudden alarm shook the Hangzhou Abyss Bureau instantly. Abyss crack. Abyssal storm. Generally speaking, this kind of catastrophe will only appear in the upper levels of the abyss. In the shallow layer of the abyss, there has not been any abyss catastrophe in recent decades. Not only that, generally speaking, the number of layers of the abyss and the level of the abyss storm match. On the first level of the abyss, only level 1 abyss storm will appear, on the second level of the abyss, only level 2 abyss storm will appear, and so on. As a result, this time, the level of the abyss storm actually exceeds the number of layers of the abyss. Report it. Must be reported immediately. Hangzhou Abyss Jurisdiction Bureau, Director's Office. Zheng Engguo's face looked a little heavy, and the corners of his eyes twitched slightly as he looked at the display screen in front of him. On the display screen, the dazzling scarlet-red color represents the spread of the abyssal storm. How so? He paced around the room impatiently, with his hands behind his back and his face ashen. In the past 100 years, the overall trend of the abyss has become stable, which is a common recognition of almost all countries in the world. However, everything that happened today, although not very serious, the highest level abyss storm is only a level 4 storm on the third level of the abyss. Once, he has seen people with level 6 or even level 7 abyss storms. Only, this kind of storm level higher than the level of the abyss has never been encountered before. All of this points to one possibility. In the depths of the abyss, unstable factors appeared. Thinking of this, he took a deep breath. He picked up the dedicated line communication device on the desktop and dialed the number of the Abyss Jurisdiction General Administration in the Imperial Capital. Level 1 of the Abyss. Temporary Base No. 24. Chen Luoyan and Chen Anan finally arrived at the temporary base. Here, 5 or 6 people have already arrived in advance. They are all mecha masters who came to escape the abyss storm. When the abyss storm was in progress, the space transmission channel was unstable and the main world was unable to send support. Everyone could only wait in the temporary base for the abyss storm to subside. Isn't he here yet? The temporary base is made of special materials, which can block the erosion of abyss energy to a certain extent. Chen Anan took off the mecha mask, and there was a hint of worry on that pretty little face. Chen Luoyan also took off her mecha mask, her face a little solemn. Not quite right. Since that guy has the strength to kill the Qiang tiger, logically speaking, his speed shouldn't be slower than theirs. Just when Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan were still worried about Su Yang. Su Yang was rushing towards the temporary base leisurely. Yuan Nang nuclear sword 13,982 100,000ths. By absorbing the energy of the abyssal storm, Yuan Nang nuclear sword has been charged once. Now he has an opportunity for a nuclear explosion level attack. However, it seems that the abyssal storm is about to subside, there should be no second chance to recharge. Thinking of this, Su Yang sped up a little. But right now, boom, the whole ground shook violently. The abyss storm that was about to subside suddenly turned around and became more intense. At the same time, in the sky, a strange crack gradually opened. A figure slowly emerged. Su Yang's heart suddenly stopped. Apocalypse Illustrated book issues a high-risk reminder. 6-star monster apostle of the abyss. Yes, that's it. The level of the abyss storm exceeds the level of the abyss. This has never happened before. Well, The current highest level is the level 4 Abyss Storm, which we can handle on our own. Main bases Z1-1, Z1-2, and Z1-3 have all sent out action teams to exterminate the abyssal beasts. In the Abyss, the main base number has its own naming convention. For example, Hangzhou is city number 001 in Daxia's Jiangsu and Zhejiang provinces. Therefore, the main Abyss bases built by Hangzhou are all named starting with Z1. Z11 is the main base located on the first floor of the Abyss, Z1-2 is the main base located on the second floor of the Abyss, and so on. Alien beasts of the Abyss. Affected by the Abyss Storm, the strengthened monster is much stronger than the original one. Alarm! Alarm! Just when Zhang Angguo reported to the General Administration of Abyss. On the monitoring machine, a shrill alarm sounded at the same time. Among them, on the monitoring machine on the first floor of the Abyss, a dazzling scarlet color appeared. This is Advanced Alert. On the first floor of the Abyss, near the temporary base number 24, signs of abnormal Abyss cracks were detected, and it is suspected that an abyssal apostle appeared. Looking at the flashing alarm on the monitoring screen, Zhang Angguo's pupils narrowed suddenly. Abnormal Abyss crack. Apostle of the Abyss. How can this be? Apostles of the Abyss are a kind of existence that is different from all kinds of monsters. Their strength is at least 6-star level. The most important thing is that they have independent consciousness and human wisdom. According to current research, the Apostles of the Abyss will only appear after the 6th level of the Abyss. How is it possible that it will appear on the first level of the Abyss? Could it be that the testing equipment is broken? Impossible. These instruments were developed and built by the Scientific Research Department of the Abyss General Administration. After millions of tests, the error rate is less than 0%. In this way, there really are Apostles of the Abyss, appearing on the first level of the Abyss. You know, when the Abyss Storm is going on, the space channel is extremely unstable. There is no way to teleport to the first level of the Abyss in the main world or the deeper main base of the Abyss. In this way, Abyss Level 1, there is no existence that can compete with the Apostles of the Abyss. The temporary base will never be able to withstand the attack of the Apostles of the Abyss. Director Zhang, what happened? That end of the phone. A cold female voice came. Zhang Angguo shuddered suddenly, realizing that things seemed to be far beyond his expectations. He took a sharp breath, tried to calm himself down, and spoke slowly. Drive-in. On the first level of the Abyss, there are abnormal Abyss cracks and Apostles of the Abyss. Abnormal Abyss cracks and Abyss Apostles. On the other end of the phone. The woman seemed a little surprised. But soon, her tone returned to calm. I understand. Let your people on the first floor of the Abyss return to the main base. In this case, they will only die if they go there. That, Zhang Angguo frowned. Although he also knew that in front of the Apostles of the Abyss, even if he invested all the power of the Z1-1 main base, he would only be dead or alive in the end. Without him, the gap in strength is too great. However, if nothing is done, the casualties on the first level of the Abyss will definitely be an unacceptable astronomical figure. The General Administration will handle the rest, that's it. Install. Zhang Angguo was still thinking of saying something just now. As a result, the other party hung up the phone. Under the heavy pressure, he let out a long sigh and looked at the monitoring screen worriedly, anxious. Imperial Capital, General Administration of Abyss. And Yan hung up the phone, her beautiful eyes flashing. As the abnormal Abyss crack, a good research opportunity. Thinking of this, she left the office of the Institute and walked towards the transmission department. Hello Dr. N. Hello Dr. N. Hello Dr. N. Along the way, people who meet N Yan. They all looked at her with respect and admiration. N Yan, General Administration of Abyss. Abyss Research Institute, one of the 6 leaders. At 22 years old, he is the youngest among all the leaders. Moreover, in addition to her academic achievements in abyssal research, she is also a 7-star mecha master. Certainly, in addition to these hard powers, soft skills such as appearance and figure have reached their peak. It can be said that anyone who sees N Yan for the first time will be fascinated by her beautiful face. Soon, N Yan came to the transmission department. Use the permission card to open the teleportation node to Hangzhou. Hangzhou, Abyss Jurisdiction Bureau. Ding. General Administration of Abyss Jurisdiction, Head of Abyss Research Institute, Dr. An Yan, arrived at Hangcheng branch. Zheng Angguo was stunned by the sudden information broadcast, and then his eyes were full of disbelief. Dr. An Yan, come to Hangzhou, etc. Could it be that she? I want to enter the abyss at this time. Cold sweat suddenly broke out on Zheng Angguo's forehead. As a person sent to Hangzhou from the headquarters, he knew very well what An Yan's status was. Even if everyone on the first level of the abyss sacrifices, it will definitely not be as good as 1/10 of An Yan. She is not only the current leader in abyss research in Daxia, but also the undisputed genius among the younger generation of mecha masters. If something happens to her. Thinking of this, Zheng Angguo immediately left the office. Abyss teleportation entrance. Due to the coming of the abyss storm, the entrance to the abyss has been closed. An Yan just showed her permission card and planned to enter the abyss. Dr. An Yan. Zheng Angguo ran to An Yan panting. The space transmission channel is extremely unstable now. You absolutely cannot enter the abyss. It doesn't matter. Facing the anxious Zheng Angguo, An Yan's eyes were calm and her expression was as usual. The next second, she summoned her companion mecha, which was a sky blue mecha. Graceful curves, equipped with all kinds of the most advanced accessories, with a cold glow all over the body. The Research Institute successfully developed a space stabilization device not long ago, and it has been equipped on my mecha. This level of spatial disruption does not cause any disturbance to me. After leaving such a sentence, before Zheng Angguo and others could react, An Yan stepped directly into the abyss teleportation entrance. Level 1 of the abyss. Seeing the strange crack that suddenly appeared and the figure exuding a terrifying aura, Su Yang's pupils narrowed. 6-star abyss creature apostle of the abyss. Kill points, 200,000 points. Attributes, speed, 600 meters per second. Power, 30 tons. Ability, abyss barrier, abyss erosion, abyss summon. Not fully recorded. Introduction, a strange existence from the depths of the abyss, possessing human-like autonomous consciousness and wisdom, and is very powerful. Recommendation, it is not recommended that any 6-star mecha masters challenge this monster alone. At least a team of 3 people is required to have a greater chance of killing it. Uploader, Mecha No. 53,213. Speed of 600 meters per second. Nearly twice the speed of sound. The power of 30 tons is terrifying beyond imagination. How could a monster of this level appear on the first level of the abyss? But, compared to these, what Su Yang cares more about is that by killing it, he can get 200,000 points. 20W. The opportunity for advanced growth only requires 200,000. Think of this. Su Yang's eyes gradually became fiery. Yuan Nang nuclear sword charge, 14,532 10,000ths. Use 1 charge to exchange for 20W points. No matter how you look at it, it's a guaranteed profit. Chapter 11. Looking at the strange crack in the distance and the figure of the abyss apostle, Su Yang's eyes became hotter. A total of 200,000 points. If you missed it this time, how long will it take to get so many points next time? He killed the wind wolves and several Qiang tigers, and the total points he gained was only a few hundred. Even at the beginning of his awakening, he drew an A-level accessory, which proved his talent, and he only received a 50,000 point reward. 20W. But it's a whole 45W. Since I am so lucky. We just happened to encounter this change in the abyss. The apostle of the abyss appeared on the first floor. If you don't take action yet, what are you waiting for? Think of this. Su Yang's eyes gradually became firm. He took off that Yuan Nang nuclear sword worn on the mecha's waist. Of course, on the outside, it looks like an ordinary energy lightsaber. Then, now it becomes like this. When the abyss storm gradually rages. In a corner where no one is paying attention, Su Yang, holding an energy light sword in his hand, aiming at the abyss apostle who appeared in the strange crack. Call, Yuan Nang nuclear sword charged and loaded. Buzz buzz, following Su Yang's instructions. Yuan Nang nuclear sword began to connect with the neural perception system of the mecha. As an SSS-level detached weapon, it has the most advanced neural enemy tracking system. Therefore, after the connection is completed, the direction of Su Yang's will. That's what Zhanfeng is pointing to. Cut. Su Yong slashed the Yuan Nang nuclear sword in his hand towards the Apostle of the Abyss. The next second, the tip of the Yuan Nang nuclear sword, a ball of light that was so calm that it was a little weird, flew towards the Apostle of the Abyss. That's all. Su Yang's brows raised slightly. After all, this is the first time to use this SSS level weapon. He really didn't know what it was like. But, since the damage level of this Yuan Nang nuclear sword is the 8th level, so it should be easy to kill such a 6-star Apostle of the Abyss, right? In front of the Abyss crack, the Abyss Apostle's gaze swept below. All around, the raging abyssal storm became even more raging because of its arrival. Shallow layer, barrier, breakthrough. The Abyss Apostle's words were unclear. He retracted his gaze from below and looked at the boundary of the abyss. It took quite a lot of effort to get here this time. It must be done. What is in my mind has not yet been clarified. Suddenly, an extremely strong sense of crisis caused its eyes to shrink suddenly. As Apostles of the Abyss, they all have a certain premonition of crisis. Logically speaking, this is the first level of the Abyss. The power of humans stationed here will definitely not be that strong, because they never expected that they would be able to cross the boundary of the Abyss and come to the shallow level. But this sense of crisis, what exactly is it? The Apostle of the Abyss wanted to dodge, but I found that it was too late. An inconspicuous light reflected in its pupils. At first, there was nothing special about it, but just when the two were about to come into contact, that inconspicuous little light group seemed to trigger some kind of terrifying energy reaction, instantly releasing a light like the brilliant sun. No, the face of the Abyss Apostle was full of horror. But before he could make any move, he was instantly evaporated by the terrifying energy, leaving no trace. Call. Shuttle successfully. Level 1 of the Abyss. On top of a mountaintop next to temporary base No. 24. And Yan took a deep breath, her proud chest rising and falling. Even if he is wearing a space stability maintenance device, traveling through the chaotic space passages is still quite exhausting. After recording the data when she just passed through the space channel, and Yan raised her head and looked at the abyss crack in the distance. Can the abnormal crack allow the Apostles of the Abyss to enter the shallow layer from the deep layer of the abyss? Such a record, this is only the 3rd time in Daxia. If you include other countries, there are only a few more. What happened in the depths of the abyss? And Yan thought. He was about to turn on the acceleration device and go to the abyss crack to deal with the Abyss Apostle first and then conduct research and observation. But in the blink of an eye, her beautiful eyes suddenly opened wide and her pupils shrank. I saw, before the mutated abyss crack, it was as if a scorching sun was rising. The terrifying energy fluctuations even made the surrounding space a little blurry. Cracks that symbolize darkness, mystery, and fear. The blazing sun, which symbolizes light, power, and sacredness. The two overlap. It turned into an extremely absurd aesthetic picture. Boom. The aftermath of energy directly flattened all surrounding landforms. The huge mushroom cloud rose and the impact caused even and Yan had to activate the maximum energy defense stance. This is. And Yan's beautiful face was full of horror. She immediately called up the energy level detection device she carried with her. Aftershock energy level, level 6. Based on the distance, the center energy level is 8. When the results of the energy level detection device appear, and Yan's heart trembled suddenly. Level 8, on the first level of the abyss. How could someone be able to create such a horrific attack? Even the Apostles of the Abyss, who were originally capable of bringing a devastating blow to the first layer of the abyss, were simply scum in comparison. Use an 8th level attack to kill a 6-star Apostle of the Abyss. Which boss can be so extravagant and wasteful? And Yan didn't know, but she saw it, even the mutated abyss crack. It also gradually disappeared amidst the extremely powerful outpouring of energy. Quote. He is a well-known research geek. The disappearance of a mutated abyss crack naturally dealt a huge blow to An Yan. But now, she just wanted to know. Who did it? To know, any mecha master who enters the abyss will be recorded. According to the records of the Hangzhou Abyss Authority, those currently on the first level of the abyss are almost all 1- and 2-star mecha masters. The highest level is the 3-star mecha division stationed at the Z1-1 main base. So, who actually launched this attack? And Yan's heart was full of confusion. But, watching the aftermath of the explosion hit, she temporarily put aside her doubts, quickly started the acceleration device, and flew at a speed of nearly 2,000 meters per second. Turn on Life Search Mode. Under Yan's instructions, the mecha's neural perception system turns on the Life Search Mode. Large-scale bio-radio waves directly cover dozens of kilometers in radius. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. It seems that the warning was relatively timely, and most people have already entered the temporary base. Only the last 5 people left, and Yan flew towards the 5 directions locked by the Life Search module. All 5 people, including Su Yang, were successfully brought back to the number 24 temporary base. At the same time, due to the annihilation of the Abyssal Rift, the death of the Abyssal Apostle, the Abyssal Storm also stopped. Temporary base No. 24. When Su Yang and the other 4 were brought back by Yan, sisters Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan immediately recognized Su Yang through his mecha. Are you okay? Chen Anan leaned over, his face full of worry. Although Chen Luoyan was not as obvious as her sister, she was quietly relieved. If Su Yang hadn't reminded the two of them at that time, allowing them to recover from the confusion of seeing the Abyss Storm for the first time, they might have died in the Abyss Storm now. Therefore, in Chen Luoyan's eyes, Su Yang is half their savior. I'm fine. Return to the temporary base. Su Yang took a deep breath and took off the mecha mask. After revealing his true face, Chen Anan's eyes widened at that handsome face. So handsome. This was the first impression Su Yang left on Chen Anan. As for Chen Luoyan, she was slightly stunned. Then he looked at Su Yang with some uncertainty and asked softly. Are you Su Yang from No. 3 Middle School? Hearing his name read out from Chen Luoyan's mouth, Su Yang did not hide it, but smiled and nodded, which was regarded as admission. He had already guessed the identity of the two sisters. Now looking at the appearance of the two people under the mecha, they really did not admit their mistake. Su Yang, oh, I remember, he was the first in the joint entrance examination, right? Then, my sister and I were second and third. Chen Anan obviously also remembered this name and looked at Su Yang with admiration. She and her sister have always taken the top 2 places in Hengcheng No. 1 Middle School. But in the joint entrance examination, a guy named Su Yang always took the first place. Turn out to be, he is Su Yang. How could there be a boy with such good grades and such handsome looks? When Chen Anan was a nymphomaniac, Chen Luoyan looked at the magnetic energy acceleration device on the back of the Su Yang mecha. By the way, why are you lagging behind? I just didn't have enough energy. Su Yang brushed it off casually. He didn't want to discuss this right now. His focus, the 200,000 Tianqi points that have just arrived. In addition to these 200,000 points, his mecha also gained 200,000 experience points. With these 200,000 experience points, after raising the mecha to level 10, nearly 19 million experience points have been accumulated. That's right, only 10,000 experience is needed to upgrade to LV.10. As long as you pass the promotion assessment of the Tianqi system, you can be promoted to a 2-star mecha master. Do you know what just happened? It's so scary. The powerful explosion just now is much scarier than the Abyss Storm. You didn't see it, the cracks in the abyss were blown away. The apostles of the abyss seemed to have evaporated instantly, too violently. Who do you think was responsible? How could such a terrifying boss appear on the first level of the abyss? Who knows? You see, even the apostles of the abyss can appear on the first floor. Is it so strange that those terrifying bosses appear here? Su Yang was surrounded by 3 people. Everyone who had survived the disaster in the temporary base was discussing the horrific explosion just now. In contrast, the creation of the abyssal cracks and the appearance of the abyssal apostles have become less noticeable topics. But Yan didn't think so. She is a senior member of the Abyss Authority. Naturally, we know that there are definitely hidden secrets behind this phenomenon. Just like the iceberg theory. What you see is often just the tip of a huge iceberg exposed on the water. But who is the one who took action? It stands to reason that there are no mecha masters above 3 stars here. Could it be that Is it the collapse caused by the instability of the abyss crack that caused this energy level explosion? Well, this argument does make sense. The collapse caused by the instability of the abyssal cracks can produce an explosion of at least the 8th energy level. Take note of it. And Yan recorded her speculations. Now, she has completely believed this inference. Otherwise, it would be impossible to explain what just happened. You can't tell her that among the 1-star and 2-star mecha masters present, some of them can unleash an attack with the power of the 8th level, right? This is obviously absolutely impossible. And after eliminating all absolutely impossible factors, the remaining possibility, although it seems unreasonable, is also the final answer. Su Yang, oh, I remember, he was the first in the joint entrance examination, right? Then, my sister and I were second and third. Wen and Yan finished the analysis. Chen Anan's words happened to fall into her ears. This made her pay a little attention to the 3 people not far away. Are these 3 people the top 3 in the Hangzhou joint entrance examination? Among them was the boy. It seemed that he had just rescued him from outside. But Hangzhou is also the 001 street city in Jiangsu and Zhejiang provinces. Its overall strength is also at the forefront in the entire Daxia. As a result, the number 1 person in this year's joint entrance examination didn't know how to properly distribute energy. That's right. In Yan's view, Su Yang consumed too much energy hunting monsters outside, leaving no extra energy to drive the acceleration device. Otherwise, relying on the magnetic energy acceleration device on the companion mecha, we should be able to easily return to the temporary base without being left homeless. After all, the remaining 4 people she brought back to the temporary base were all equipped with C-level and D-level acceleration devices, and their speeds were indeed slower. Su Yang was chatting casually with sisters Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan. Suddenly, he noticed eyes falling on him. Follow the line of sight. It turned out to be the mecha master who had just brought him back from outside. Since she did not take off her mecha mask, Su Yang only knew that she was a woman and could not see her true appearance. The only thing Su Yang knows is that she is very, very strong. When she was flying with her, the speed detector shows 2,000 meters per second. If the opponent hadn't activated a defensive stance, his accompanying mecha would have been torn to pieces at such a terrifying speed. The only problem is, how could such a big boss appear on the first level of the abyss? Just when Su Yang was a little confused, an announcement suddenly sounded in the temporary base. Attention to all personnel. The abyssal storm has stopped, the space transmission channel has returned to stability, and transmission is now possible. Great, finally recovered. I swear, I will never come to the abyss again in a short time. If you don't come to the abyss, how will you earn points and support your family? Look at your arrogance. Do you want it to be so real? I'll cry. With the stability of space transmission channels, everyone began to leave the abyss one after another and return to the main world. Su Yang and the others were no exception. They lined up behind everyone and entered the space passage. Main world, Hangzhou, at the gate of the Abyss Authority. After saying goodbye to sisters Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan, Su Yang was suddenly stopped again. I saw Chen Anan lowering his head, blushing, hands behind his back, stirring his fingers, and said a little shyly. Can you add a contact information? Su Yang originally thought it was something. Looking at the girl's slightly red cheeks, I immediately understood what she was thinking. He is not the kind of old-fashioned boy who is dull and ignorant of the world, but a boy who is in the most youthful and exuberant stage of his life. Such a thing as falling in love. If fate comes, let it take its course. Of course, at most he had some affection for this petite and cute little beauty, but he was far from liking her. This is my communication account. Thanks. Chen Anan cheered. The cute little face is flushed, but the eyes are extremely bright. Goodbye. Su Yang smiled and said goodbye to the two sisters, then activated the accelerator and headed in the direction of home. There's really nothing I can do against you. Chen Luoyan looked at her sister beside her helplessly. Is that guy so charming? Isn't it just that he looks a bit handsome? The results are better. On the contrary, when the abyssal storm had just arrived, his calm and fearless look in the face of danger was a bit heartwarming. Ah, Chen Luoyan, what are you thinking? Feeling the slight heat on the sides of his cheeks, Chen Luoyan immediately threw these thoughts out of her mind. Falling in love or anything like that is not what she wants to think about right now. What she has to do is to surpass Su Yang and become the number one in this class in Hangzhou. Imperial Capital, General Administration of Abyss, Abyss Research Institute. After returning to the main world from the Abyss, Yan did not stop in Hangzhou, but returned directly to the Imperial Capital and began research on the topic, unstable crack collapse. Of course, she had been named and criticized by the General Administration for leaving her position privately and taking risks by crossing the unstable space channel into the Abyss. But Yan's character has always been like this. As long as she wants to do something, no one can stop her. In this regard, the people at the General Administration had no choice but to persuade him earnestly. As a leader in Abyss research and the most talented mecha master in history, one must always consider one's own safety. Yan's reply was, "Oh, I got it. You know what a ghost you are. Who can guarantee what she will do next time?" Hangzhou. At home, Su Yang opened his mecha panel. LV.10 Initial Mecha. Energy Reserve 2000 units. Attributes: Maximum Strength 300 kilograms. Maximum Speed 30 meters per second. Maximum Damage that can be sustained 1800 units. Promotion Trial Ready. Every time you upgrade by one level, your accompanying mecha will receive the maximum attribute bonus. Su Yang is well deserved for his reputation as a genius. Promotion Trial. Looking at the Promotion Trial option that has been opened, Su Yang's eyes sparkled. Just complete the Promotion Trial. You can become a 2-star mecha master by yourself. Not only that, the huge amount of experience provided by killing the Apostle of the Abyss can also allow him to continue to upgrade. If nothing else happens, it may even be possible to directly start the promotion trial of a 3-star mecha master. On the day I just woke up, I became a 3-star mecha master. No matter how you look at it, it's a bit outrageous, right? The corners of Su Yang's mouth raised slightly. In his eyes, there is the spirit of a young man. In this turbulent era, who doesn't want to be the strong one at the top? Those mecha masters who have transcended 10 stars and entered the legendary stage can even ascend into space and engage in interstellar battles. Travel to the stars. Fight fiercely across the world. I wonder what man wouldn't get excited after hearing this. According to the school's curriculum description, the promotion trial is divided into 2 parts. One is the combat power test, and the other is the mecha core fitness test. I shouldn't have much problem with the mecha core fit test. I'm confident in my talent. As for the combat power test, it can be passed easily. The smile on Su Yang's face became even brighter. Without saying a word, the promotion test started directly. All mechas in the world are connected to the Apocalypse system. Because of this, the promotion trials of mecha masters are not controlled by the governments of various countries but are judged by the Apocalypse system. Apocalypse system. Mecha number 331017, do you want to start the promotion trial? Confirm. Promotion trial begins. Part 1, Combat Strength Test. With the announcement of the Apocalypse system, Su Yang's consciousness was slightly blurred for a while. When he woke up, he had been pulled into the so-called metaspace. This is the space created by the Apocalypse system, specifically used to test the combat power of the mecha masters. Generating test objects. Generation completed. In metaspace, 3 vague shadows appeared. Then it gradually solidified and turned into an entity. 2-star original beast. Attributes: Strength 400 kilograms. Speed 60 meters per second. Characteristics: Mimicry. Mimicry, the source beast can change its own form and transform into melee or remote mode. Is this the famous origin beast? Looking at the 3-headed origin beast generated in front of him, Su Yang's eyes lit up slightly. Source beast. It is different from any monsters and abyss beasts found in the world so far. They have only appeared in the metaspace of the Apocalypse system. They do not have a fixed form, but constantly change their appearance and strength according to the test requirements of the promotion trial. They are an extremely special existence. Because of this, it has also become a key research object of research institutions in various countries. If this characteristic can be applied to mechas, it will definitely improve a lot of combat power. Come to your senses. The battle has begun. One of the source beasts rushed towards Su Yang at the fastest speed. In the air, its forelimbs turned into blades, flashing with a cold light. The surface of the body is covered with hard scales, which greatly enhances its defense. The other Source Beast kept a certain distance from Su Yang, simulated a long-range shooting device on its head, and activated fire suppression. The last Source Beast did not launch an attack, but instead used all its strength to condense energy shields around its two companions. It was obviously the auxiliary role in the team. Is this a test of close combat, defense capabilities, and firepower output? Su Yang understood. Directly turn on the energy flame acceleration device. The powerful propulsion made Su Yang's speed surge instantly. It is now the initial mecha of LV.10, with a maximum speed of 30 meters per second. But with the addition of the energy flame acceleration device, the maximum speed can reach 110 meters per second. In terms of flexibility, crush this melee Source Beast. Before the melee Source Beast came to attack, he opened his position. Turn on the double pulse light shield to offset all long-range firepower, and hold the Yuannang nuclear weapon sword in hand to cut it down with one sword. Boom. The defensive light shield condensed by the defensive Source Beast is as fragile as a piece of paper under the SSS-level elemental nuclear weapon sword. The defensive light shield shattered in response, and together with the melee Source Beast, it was annihilated. Boo-hoo. Long-range firepower can only be called fire suppression when its power reaches the standard. Otherwise, it's just an itch. Under the protection of double pulse light shield, Su Yang rushed straight towards the long-range fire Source Beast and the defense Source Beast, and dropped his two swords, sending them into nothingness. As the three Source Beasts were eliminated, the Apocalypse Systems broadcast came. Combat strength test passed, Mecha Core compatibility test started. The broadcast ends. Su Yang took off his mecha. Mecha Core fit test. Before awakening the companion mecha, the school had this course, and it was a key course. Any mecha master who successfully awakens a companion mecha actually has a soul contract with the core of his mecha. In the dark, I can feel the connection between the core of the mecha and myself. It's just that low-level mecha masters have a weaker sense of the core of a mecha, while high-level mecha masters have a stronger sense of the core of a mecha. This process from weak to strong is the essence of a mecha master's gradual promotion. Quote. In the tranquility of metaspace, Su Yang closed her eyes and followed the instructions of the school curriculum, silently feeling the core of the mecha contracted with her soul. As time slowly passed, that feeling, which was weak at the beginning, like a candle flame swaying in the wind, gradually became stable. Open your eyes. At some point, a ball of light appeared in front of me. Here is Su Yang's mecha core. Reach out and touch. There are waves of warmth. Mecha Core fit test passed. Congratulations to No. 331,017 Mecha Master for being promoted to a 2-star Mecha Master. Is this the end? Before Su Yang could fully feel the connection with the core of the mecha, the surrounding space gradually blurred. When I came back to my senses, he has withdrawn from the metaspace of the Apocalypse System and returned to the real world. At the same time, a ring of light symbolizing the level of a Mecha Master slowly formed on his wrist. So far, 2-star Mecha Master. Promotion successful. Mecha Core. Looking at the ring of light slowly forming on her wrist, Su Yang's eyes showed contemplation. Before today, he had not awakened the companion mecha, so it was naturally impossible to feel the core of the mecha. This promotion trial was the first time that he felt the core of his mecha at such a close range and in such a specific way. However, before he had time to understand it carefully, he was sent out of the metaspace because the promotion trial was completed. In the main world, can you feel the core of the mecha? Su Yang, who was still unsatisfied, tried to repeat his previous behavior. But after closing my eyes for a long time, I still didn't feel the connection with the core of the mecha. If nothing else, the connection between me and the core of the mecha is too weak. I can only feel it with the help of the blessing of the metaspace. Well, let's take a look at the upgrade first. Su Yang opened the companion mecha's panel. As a result of being promoted to a 2-star Mecha Master, the level cap is opened. The 190,000 experience previously stored directly raised the level of the accompanying mecha to LV.20. LV.20 Initial Mecha. Energy Reserve 5,000 units. Attributes. Maximum Strength 500 kilograms. Maximum speed, 50 meters per second. Maximum damage that can be sustained, 3,500 units. Promotion trial, ready. This is so cool. Looking at the luxurious panel of the companion mecha, Su-young couldn't help but sigh. I once learned in school that the experience gained from killing monsters is actually the energy absorbed by the core of the mecha. It's just that the value of this energy is equal in number to the apocalypse points obtained by killing monsters, so it is simplified to an easier to understand experience value. After being promoted to LV.20, there is still a full 140,000 experience points left. Try again and see if you can be promoted to a 3-star mecha master in one go. Su-young's fighting spirit was completely ignited. You know, the mecha master who came to the school to preside over the awakening ceremony was only 3 stars. It only took 1 day for me to reach a level comparable to him. How could it not be exciting? Half an hour later, Su-young retreated from the metaspace. The combat power test passed easily. It's just that the fit test of the mecha core failed. It's not as simple as imagined. In metaspace, Su-young easily defeated the 3-star source beast. But in the final mecha core fit test, it failed. In short, he is now a violent upgrade after being initiated. Hard indicators such as combat power have reached the standards of 3-star mecha masters, but in terms of internal indicators such as the core fit of the mecha, it has not yet passed the standard. Well, maybe you can ask Lao Wang how to improve the fit of the mecha's core. Lao Wang is Su-young's class teacher, named Wang Daqiang. He was once a 4-star mecha master, but while performing a certain mission in the abyss, his mecha was completely destroyed and he was no longer a mecha master. Despite this, his knowledge of mechas is quite profound, and he must know how to improve his compatibility with the core of mechas. Thinking of this, Su-young opened the communication panel, found Lao Wang, and sent a message. Teacher Wang, I would like to ask, how to improve the fit of the mecha core. After about 3 minutes, Lao Wang replied to the message. Xiao Su, this is what you have to learn after entering university. But I know that you have always had the habit of previewing, so I will briefly talk to you first. The compatibility between the mecha master and the core of the mecha will slowly increase over time. The primary influencing factor is talent. Mecha masters with high talent will improve their compatibility with the core of the mecha very quickly. For mecha masters with mediocre talent, their compatibility with the core of the mecha will improve very slowly. It's like a guy who was in the same class as me back then. We studied the same courses, fought the same battles, and at the same time reached the combat strength standard of a 4-star mecha master. But in order to achieve the core compatibility of a 4-star mecha master, it took me 5 years, but it only took him 2 years. This is the impact of the difference in talent. The second one is the spiritual contracting method, which is something you will learn after entering university. Through the spiritual contracting method, the compatibility with the core of the mecha can be artificially increased. As for the specific content of the spiritual contracting method, according to the teacher's code of conduct, I cannot reveal more to you. Talent, contract spirit method, 2 key messages. In terms of talent, Su-young is not worried. On the contrary, Su-young was very interested in this spiritual contract method. But according to what Lao Wang said, you need to enter university before you can study. Then you can only watch. My talent is enough for me to reach the core level of fitness of a 3-star mecha master within this period of time. Thinking of this, Su-young replied. Thank you, Teacher Wang, I understand. Well, it's okay. You are the most outstanding student among the several classes I have taught. By the way, after this week, there will be a mecha joint examination in Hangzhou. The reward for the first place in the joint examination is a grade A accessories. Teacher, I believe you can continue to be number 1, come on. Mecha joint examination. Isn't it finally a joint theoretical examination? Besides, the reward for first place in the joint entrance examination is an A-level accessory. He took a look at the 200,000 apocalypse points he had left. Ability to purchase a premium amplification opportunity. If you get another 10,000 times increase, use for that grade A accessory. Would not it be? Can I get another SSS level accessory? Thinking of the terrifying power of Yuan Nang nuclear sword, Su-young showed a confident smile. Don't worry, Teacher Wang, whether it's before or after awakening, the number one position never belongs to anyone else. As long as I, Su Yang, am here. Whether it is before awakening or after awakening. The number one position never belongs to anyone else. These words, are you crazy? Crazy, crazy to no end. But, Su Yang is crazy about his strength. From the time I entered high school to before my awakening, my grades in every theory class were number one. Not only was he ranked first in the number 3 middle school in Hangzhou, but in the joint entrance examination of the entire Hangzhou city, he still came out on top, beating the geniuses from the number 1 middle school and the no. 2 middle school. So, this is not called madness, but the self-confidence of a genius. I just don't know what type of accessories the rewards will be. In terms of melee weapons, the Yuannang nuclear sword should be able to be used for a long time. The best solution is long-range weapons. Defensive and auxiliary accessories are also good. In combat, if you want to choose close combat, then the requirements for defense will undoubtedly increase a lot. If there is a means of long-range attack, the defense pressure will naturally be much less. Of course, it turns out, Yuannang nuclear weapon sword can also be used as a long-range weapon, but it is an unconventional means. Once used, it will be a shocking scene. Ding! Just when Su Yang was about to turn off the communication panel. Suddenly a friend request popped up. Hello, I am Chen Anan from number 1 middle school. Look at this application. Chen Anan's petite and cute figure popped into Su Yang's mind unconsciously. After the choice was approved, the other party even sent an invitation. Tomorrow is Saturday, please. Are you free? I know a very good restaurant. My sister and I would like to thank you properly, is that okay? Of course, it's okay if you don't have time. The cautious tone between the lines. The image of a shy girl pops up on the page. After Su Yang thought for a while, he agreed. Due to the unusual movements in the abyss, Hangzhou officials issued an announcement. It is best not to enter the abyss for the time being. Plus, there really isn't anything else to do lately, so it would be nice to enjoy some leisure time. Great, then let's meet in front of Xinc Cafe at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. See you there. Imperial Capital, Abyss Research Institute. Enyan's office. Enyan was immersed in writing something down with the pen in her hand. But next to her right hand, a loli with twin ponytails sat unscrupulously on the edge of the table. The slender white legs swayed, and he stretched out his hand leisurely to dust off the cigarette ashes, and then looked at Enyan. You mean, the unstable abyss crack collapsed and released the power of the 8th level? Well, that's how it should be. Enyan straightened up, put down the pen in his hand and stretched. Those extremely tempting curves, if any man were here, would probably stare straight at her. Finished stretching, Enyan frowned. How many times have I told you not to smoke in my place again? Forgot. The twin-tailed loli showed an innocent smile. After jumping off the edge of the table, he threw the cigarette butt into the trash heap, thoughtfully. So, wouldn't it be cool if we could develop a weapon that specifically creates unstable space cracks and then collapses them? Maybe. Enyan was not interested in this topic. Marongxi, together with Enyan, is one of the 6 directors of the institute, and is responsible for the Special Weapons Research and Development Department of the Abyss Research Institute. Although she looks like a twin-tailed Lolita, in fact, her age has reached 27 years old. It was just because of an experimental accident that her body age deteriorated. Hey, it doesn't make any sense at all. Marongxi curled her lips. Recently, her thinking has reached a bottleneck, and no matter how she designs it, she feels unsatisfied. On the contrary, what Enyan just said, the collapse of unstable space cracks is quite interesting, but it may be a bit difficult to create. Bang bang bang. Drive in, Dr. Marong, the director invites you to a meeting. Outside the office, the assistant knocked on the door as a reminder. No, Enyan replied. After sorting out the files, I got up and headed to the conference room. It's really annoying to have another meeting. Marongxi sighed and complained. Enyan didn't answer. Somehow, she had a premonition. Something big may happen recently, and the changes in the abyss are a precursor. Abyss Research Institute, discussion room. After Enyan and Marongxi arrived, all 6 heads of the institute were in place. Director of the Abyss Research Institute, Luo Zhengong looked around with a serious expression and spoke slowly. Just now, I attended the meeting of the Global Abyss Research Association. The content of the meeting was quite serious. Abyssal mutations have occurred in the Eagle American Federation, Europe, the Soviet Union, Sakura and other countries. There are 4 cases of Abyss apostles entering the shallow layers of the Abyss. Quote. Speaking of this, Luo Zhengong paused for a few seconds. If it were just this, the Global Abyss Research Association might not hold an emergency meeting. But, in Sakura, there was an extreme case of an Abyssal Apostle breaking through the Abyss and entering the main world. Although the Abyss Apostle has been killed, this has never happened since the advent of the Mecha era. The Abyss invades the main world. Call. Luo Zhengong took a deep breath. The faces of the 6 people in charge present were also full of shock. Apostle of the Abyss, enter the main world. This can actually be done. In the silence of everyone, Luo Zhengong looked serious and said in a deep voice. The superiors have given our research institute an order. From now on, we will do our best to study the boundary between the Abyss and the main world. I don't need to say more about the significance of this research. If one day, the Abyss invades the main world in a big way, we, Daxia, must do our best to repair the Abyss border in our country. Clear. There was silence in the conference room. Since the advent of the Apocalypse system and the beginning of the Mecha era, there seems to be an insurmountable wall between the Abyss and the main world. Human beings have always taken the initiative to explore the Abyss from the main world, but there has never been a situation where abyssal beasts have entered the main world. But now, things seem to be different. The apostles of the Abyss passed through the cracks of the Abyss and entered the shallow layer from the deep layer. In Sakura, there was actually a case of an abyssal apostle breaking through the Abyss barrier and coming to the main world. Everyone present is a knowledgeable person. They are researchers at the forefront of the Abyss. Naturally, it can be seen that this is the beginning of a disaster. Everyone was silent. Luo Zhengong's brows furrowed. As the director of the Abyss Research Institute, he knows the horror of the Abyss better than anyone else. So far, the greatest depth of human exploration of the Abyss is the 13th level. But this is far from the deepest part of the Abyss. Human beings still have no idea what kind of taboos exist after the 13th level. I'll do my job. Under Luo Zhengong's gaze, the first one to speak was An Yan. Her expression was calm, but her eyes were firm. The research on the boundary between the Abyss and the main world is the direction I am responsible for. I will do my best. With An Yan taking the lead, the heads of other departments also came to their senses and expressed their desire and determination to work together. Call. Very good. Everyone looked determined. Luo Zhengong finally breathed a sigh of relief. He was afraid that if even they didn't have the courage to face this matter, who else could stand up at this time? After the atmosphere calmed down a little, he announced something else. By the way, there's one more thing. In order to cope with this possible catastrophe, a project called Abyss Facer was established to assist our Abyss Research Institute in its operations. Facial source. As the name suggests, he is someone who faces the Abyss. In the near future, your main work location will be transferred from the main world to the Abyss. At that time, we will need more Mecha Masters who understand the Abyss and also have powerful power to assist you in your work. Therefore, starting from this Mecha exam, Daxia has added an Abyss Adaptability Assessment. The purpose is to select seeds from the new generation that are more adaptable to the Abyss and cultivate them. There are 6 major provinces in Daxia, and each of you is responsible for the recruitment for a province's major exam. As for the order of responsibility, you can decide by drawing lots. With that said, Luo Zhengong took out paper and pen. After writing down the names of the 6 major provinces of Daxia, crumpled the paper into balls and mixed them together. Everyone understood, and stepped forward to draw out, then opened it and looked at the province they were responsible for. As Jiangsu and Zhejiang provinces. An Yan looked at the ball of paper spread out in her hand, thoughtfully. The provinces of Jiangsu and Zhejiang are relatively powerful among the 6 major provinces of Daxia. If nothing else happens, we should be able to select many freshmen who meet the conditions of Abyssal Facer. Only, the figure of a young man flashed in An Yan's mind. If I remember correctly, he seems to be the number one in Hangzhou. But his performance in the Abyss was unsatisfactory. Never mind. The main assessment criterion for Abyss Facer is Abyss adaptability. This is an extremely special trait that has not yet been studied clearly and can only be tested through special means. Among the 6 people present, each one's Abyss adaptability is 1 in a million. Okay, let's get back to work. Although we don't know when this disaster will completely break out. But taking precautions is the advice left by our ancestors in the Shah dynasty. Go ahead. Yes, yes, yes. Saturday. The wind is beautiful and the sun is bright, and there is a gentle breeze. People who go to work, or fight on weekdays choose to relax and rest. Although a change occurred in the Abyss. But for most people, it's not a big deal. After all, hundreds of years of facts have proven that the Abyss and the main world are 2 unrelated parallel worlds. It was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Su Yang prepared a little and went out for the appointment. The meeting place chosen by Chen Anan was located at Xinq Cafe, right next to No. 3 Middle School, so Su Yang was quite familiar with it. After arriving at Xinq Cafe by a familiar route, I saw 2 beautiful figures in the distance. My younger sister is petite and sweet, and my elder sister is beautiful and charming. Originally, Su Yang thought that Chen Anan would be the only one who would come. Unexpectedly, it turned out to be a threesome. Su Yang. Chen Anan smiled and waved to Su Yang. The last time we met, we were in the Abyss. Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan were both wearing mechas. This time, each of them put on clothes that suited their own style. Chen Anan is a girl's favorite light blue dress, paired with white socks and small leather shoes. Chen Luoyan was more refreshing, wearing a girly sports suit with her ponytail raised high, revealing her fair and attractive neck. Girls are infinitely good. Su Yang chuckled, thinking this in his mind, and then stepped forward. But at this moment, several exclamations suddenly sounded from the side of the road. Then, an out-of-control car rushed towards Su Yang. As a mecha master, in terms of perception, he is naturally much stronger than ordinary people. Moreover, Su Yang is still the most talented among the mecha masters. When the out-of-control car was about to hit him, the accompanying mecha moved as he pleased, covering him instantly. Boom! A deafening crash sounded. The out-of-control vehicle directly hit the double-pulse light shield. The terrifying impact force directly dented the entire front body of the out-of-control car. So handsome. Pedestrians on the road were originally in panic. But after discovering that Su Yang turned out to be a mecha master, he immediately felt relieved. A little boy, who was being led by his mother, looked at Su Yang in mecha form with great energy and shouted with admiration. If it were an ordinary person who was hit by this out-of-control car at such a high speed, it might directly lead to tragedy and bloodshed. But, look at the situation at hand. Since the front of the car has been flattened, the driver must have had no hope of survival. Passers-by sighed. Although I don't know if the driver was drunk or something. But now that the outcome has been decided, it is a blessing that the out-of-control vehicle was controlled by the mecha division and did not cause greater casualties. Su Yang. A sudden scene. Even Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan didn't react. After coming back to her senses, her sister Chen Anan rushed directly towards Su Yang. Sister Chen Luoyan looked at the light shield in front of Su Yang with some shock, her mouth slightly opened. What's happening here? The impact caused by the speed just now is at least the 3rd energy level. But Su Yang, like them, had just completed his awakening yesterday. How could he withstand the impact of the 3rd energy level? The defensive accessory he used was clearly just a B-level energy light shield. And the energy light shield driven by the 1-star mecha core. It's a bit difficult to withstand the impact of the 2nd energy level. But, shocked, Chen Luoyan quickly got up and rushed to Su Yang's side. Call. After resisting the out-of-control car, Su Yang breathed a sigh of relief. The car suddenly lost control and had no time to react to distance itself. It could only use the double-pulse light shield to resist. Fortunately, he has been promoted to a 2-star mecha master, and the maximum injection energy of the dual-pulse light shield has been increased from 1000 to 2000. After a 10-fold increase in the energy circuit, it can withstand up to 20,000 units of energy impact damage, so it can easily withstand such a blow. Otherwise, you may suffer a lot. The impact of a car traveling at full speed is no joke. It is fatal to any newly awakened Mecha Master. But, why would a perfectly good vehicle lose control? Just thinking about it, Chen Anan has already trotted to his side. His tone was full of concern and his eyes were full of worry. The originally cute and sweet little face turned even redder. Su Yang, are you okay? I do not. Su Yang was about to say I'm fine. But suddenly, something happened. The head of the car was originally flattened due to the impact. It made a rustling sound, and then stretched out strangely, as if it had been stretched open by something. In the shocked eyes of everyone, I saw a figure covered in blood staggering out of it. Shockingly, it was the car driver. What's happening here? Everyone present was stunned. The driver in front of me was covered in blood. There is no companion mecha on him, how can he still be alive? Wrong. All limbs were twisted. Where the bones were broken, white bones could be seen. Just by looking at it, you can feel the extreme pain. The head was also squeezed into an oval shape in the huge impact, and some yellow-white slurry even flowed out. No matter how you look at it, this driver is dead. How can he still move? In this weird atmosphere, people on the street screamed and fled. Only Su Yang, Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan were still where they were. But, at this time, Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan had also summoned their companion mechas and transformed into battle forms. What the hell is this? It's so terrible. Although Chen Luoyan's tone seemed calm, but Su Yang still heard a trace of panic. As for Chen Anan, his tone even sounded a little crying. I have to say that this zombie-like thing in front of me is still too disgusting for two young girls, Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan. Compared to those monsters in the abyss, they are much more terrifying. No matter what he is, just destroy him. Su Yang's tone was calm. His words seemed to give the two sisters a backbone. Chen Anan gritted his teeth and activated the energy light cannon. This is the A-level long-range attack accessory she picked up when she awakened. Although she is only a 1-star Mecha Master, she is able to exert the power of the second level. Boom, boom, boom. 3 energy light cannons were fired in succession. The explosion of the energy light cannon almost razed the shops on the street to the ground. Win. Win. Chen Anan's voice was trembling. However, it turns out that even the impact of the high-speed car did not lead to his death. This is only an energy light cannon with the power of the second level. How can it cause harm to him? Therefore, in the smoke and dust generated by the explosion, the figure of the zombie slowly reappeared with heart-stopping footsteps. Tap. 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 The footsteps are dull and weird. It's like a drum beating in the hearts of the two sisters. Not far away, on top of a tall building, the man in a black trench coat looked at the battle below expressionlessly. Beside him, a round-faced man wearing glasses said proudly, "The latest developed X111 series of abyssal potions. It can reorganize and mutate the human body structure, reshape muscles through abyss energy, and form an extremely solid defensive body. With a physical body, he is comparable to a 3-star Mecha Master. The most important thing is, it can still be produced at capacity. Those 3 Mecha Masters probably just awakened not long ago, and they should become pitiful sacrifices," the round-faced man with glasses said with a smile. But not long after, when he noticed that the man in the trench coat frowned, he once again turned his attention to the battle not far away. Then, his smile instantly froze on his face. His eyes suddenly widened, his face full of disbelief. I saw, he had just called it a masterpiece that could rival a 3-star Mecha Master in the flesh, being cut in half by one of the Mecha Masters. This. The round-faced man with glasses looked as if he had seen a ghost. I held it in for a long time but nothing came out. It shouldn't be. Although the X111 Abyssal Potion has just been developed, its various side effects have not yet been clarified. But the only thing that is certain is that it can greatly enhance the strength of the human body, and at least it can resist 3rd-level attacks. Those brats in front of me. He clearly looks like a student. If I remember correctly, the students in Hangzhou just completed the Unified Awakening ceremony yesterday. This means that they should all be 1-star mecha masters. Even with A-grade accessories. Driven by the 1-star mecha core. At most, it can only cause the second level of destructive power. But, how could that guy kill the experimental subject with just one blow? If I read it correctly, the weapon in his hand is an energy light sword among the A-level weapons, right? In previous experiments, he clearly remembered that he had done a similar test. Only by having a 3-star mecha master use energy light sword can he quickly kill an experimental subject. How could he, a newly awakened mecha master, use the energy light sword to exert such power? Impossible, absolutely impossible. In this way, could it be that there was something wrong with the X111 Abyss potion, causing the strength of the experimental subject to decrease? No, that doesn't make sense. The force of a car collision at that speed definitely reached the 3rd energy level. If the strength of the experimental body is reduced, how can it survive such a collision? Snort. It seemed that he could see through what the round-faced man in glasses was thinking. The man in a black windbreaker snorted softly and said coldly, "It seems that the stability of X111 Abyss potion is not enough. What's the point of your so-called physical body being comparable to a 3-star mecha master if it can only last for a few minutes?" Having said this, the man in the black trench coat turned and left without even looking at the round-faced man. Quote. The round-faced man with glasses opened his mouth, as if he wanted to say something. But I don't know how to refute it. In the end, I could only look at the failed experimental subject in the distance with confusion and followed with a frustrated face. Solve. Draw your sword. Draw your sword. Sheath the sword. Done in one go. The strange existence that resembled a zombie was directly cut into 2 pieces by the Yuannang nuclear weapon sword. No matter how powerful it is. Facing the SSS level Yuannang nuclear weapon sword, he is a scumbag. Certainly, on the surface it seems. Su Yang uses energy light sword. This caused the eyes of sisters Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan to look at him, becoming a little strange. Especially Chen Anan. Her little mind is confused now. He is also a newly awakened mecha master. It is also an A-level weapon accessory. It's just that energy light sword as a melee weapon, and energy light cannon as a long-range weapon. The gap is that big. She bombarded it with energy light cannon, but the monster was not injured. Su Yang slashed with the energy light sword and the sword fell down, killing him directly. Su Yang. Chen Anan looked at Su Yang. You. Nothing. Just mastered some special kendo skills. Su Yang, who had expected it, showed a gentle smile towards the 2 of them. The already extremely handsome face, combined with the strong performance of killing with just one blow, what could be more exciting to a girl than such a boy? Chen Anan blushed and lowered her head. Chen Luoyan was chewing on Su Yang's words. Special kendo skills. Although I was doubtful, there was no other way to explain it. My sister's energy light cannon is no less powerful than the energy light sword. You can't. Su Yang has surpassed them and become a 2-star mecha master, right? The unified awakening was just yesterday. Even if Su Yang hunted certain monsters in the abyss and upgraded, it is absolutely impossible to complete the advancement. This is ridiculous. So, it seems that we can only believe that this young man who has always ranked first in the Hangzhou joint entrance examination really has some special kendo skills. Of course, what Chen Luoyan didn't expect was Su Yang has not only become a 2-star mecha master. Moreover, it has reached LV.20, the full level of the 2-star mecha master. In fact, if he hadn't passed the mecha core compatibility test, he would have been a 3-star mecha master. Whoa, whoa, whoa. While the 3 of them were having a conversation, not far away, several figures were rushing towards this side. They are all in the form of mechas, wearing the badges of the Law Enforcement Bureau on the shoulders and arms of the mechas. The commotion that was caused just now was not small, and it was normal for official law enforcement officers to arrive. After understanding everything that just happened, law enforcement officers called up surveillance through the city system. According to the surveillance footage, after confirming that what Su Yang and the others said was correct, they asked for their contact information and left with the body of the zombie and the wreckage of the accident vehicle. After the law enforcement officers left, The three of them faded away from their mecha form. What do you mean? Do you two still have enough to eat? Su Yong looked at sisters Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan with a smile. To be honest, the battle just now, although it ended quickly, was still a bit bloody. Yeah, I can. Chen Anan pursed her lips and nodded. To be honest, what happened just now did make her a little nauseous. But she doesn't want to miss any chance to date Su Yong. Although, this is not a date in name, but a thank you banquet. I can too. Chen Luoyan also nodded. Because, if you can, she wanted to ask Su Yong for some so-called special kendo skills. Although the weapon she drew when she awakened was an A-level energy sniper rifle. But she also equipped herself with a B-level hybrid alloy long sword. Hehe Restaurant. This is one of the most famous restaurants in Hangzhou. Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan had already booked their seats early. Therefore, after arriving at the restaurant, the receptionist at the restaurant enthusiastically took the three of them to the private room. Although most people who come to the restaurant to eat do not pay attention to what other people are doing. However, on the way to the box, Su Yong and his party still received a lot of attention. These looks are from men and women. Most of the men's eyes stayed on Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan. The petite and sweet Chen Anan and the pretty and charming Chen Luoyan are very similar in appearance, so it is easy to recognize that they are sisters. For such a pair of sisters, when walking on the road, the rate of turning heads is at least 90%, if not 100%. From a 60-year-old man to an 18-year-old boy, who wouldn't envy Su Yong when he was treated like this? As for women, then of course he would look at Su Yong. As the school girl of No. 3 Middle School, Su Yong is pursued by many girls in the school. After awakening the mecha, the temperament that only a true genius possesses made his charm even higher. But, the three of them didn't pay much attention to these glances, but headed straight towards the box. At the same time, a corner of the restaurant. Isn't that Su Shen? I'll go. It's true. Su Shen is trying to pick up girls. Su Shen is awesome. He is indeed the genius of our number 3 middle school. Even the girls he picks up are so top-notch, and he picks up 2 at once. Jill turned purple with envy. Seeing the disappearing figures of Su Yong and others, everyone wailed. Among them, the leader is Wang Hao, a well-known second-generation rich man from No. 3 Middle School in Hangzhou, whose father is a 4-star mecha master. After the successful awakening this time, what he drew was a C-level auxiliary accessory. It can be said that his talent is relatively average. However, his father prepared a B-level hand cannon device for him, which is pretty good. No, let's take the brothers to Hehe Restaurant to have a good meal to celebrate. As a result, he saw such a scene, which made him extremely envious. Wait. Why do those two girls look so familiar? In envy, Wang Hao suddenly felt that he had seen the two beauties around Su Yong somewhere. Suddenly, I remembered. Wang Hao suddenly roared and couldn't help but slap the table, startling the people around him. Sorry. Wang Hao realized his gaffe and apologized to the disturbed diners around him. Then he lowered his voice and whispered to the rest of the people at the table. Do you know who those two beauties are? Several people stared at each other and said they didn't know. Seeing this, Wang Hao gritted his teeth and said, I don't even know this. They are famous sisters, Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan. What the hell, are you the second and third child who ranked behind Su Shen in the joint entrance examination? After hearing the names of the two people, everyone finally reacted, with expressions of disbelief on their faces. Those are the school beauties of No. 1 Middle School. It's not the kind of vase that only looks good, but a genius like Su Yong. Result, both were captured by Su Yong. Do you want to be so awesome? Su Shen is already admirable enough. Now, it is simply asking them to worship. Cried. Su Shen's operation is a level that I will never be able to achieve in my life. With a sad face, Wang Hao picked up a fork and stuffed a piece of steak into his mouth. The juice bursting out of the steak was like the tears in his heart. By the way, I remember that after this week, there will be a joint mecha exam. Do you think Su Shen can do it? That's a family matter. Is it your turn to interrupt? Uuik. When Wang Hao and others fantasize about a big drama in their hearts. Sisters Su Yong and Chen Anan and Chen Luoyan have already begun to enjoy the delicious food in the box. I have to say that there is a certain reason why this restaurant is so famous. The food is quite delicious. While Soo-young was enjoying the delicious food, she was chatting and laughing with her two sisters. While she was feasting on her mouth, she was also feasting on her eyes. It was quite satisfying. During the banquet, both Chen Anan and Chen Loyan expressed their gratitude to Soo-young. When he encountered the abyss storm in the abyss, and when he dealt with the weirdo just now, Soo-young was the one who took action. Soo-young just laughed it off. Until the end of the meal, Chen Loyan made a request to Soo-young. Could you, please give me some guidance on my swordsmanship skills? I'm also quite interested in close combat swordsmanship. Of course, it must be paid. For example, 1,000 apocalypse points for 1 hour. 1,000 Tianqi points for 1 hour. Good guy. Although Soo-young had expected it. Sisters Chen Anan and Chen Loyan's family background is definitely quite comfortable. But he never thought that he would be rich enough to spend 1,000 apocalypse points for an hour to give him kendo instruction. If the so-called special kendo skills were not made up by me, I would be really excited. I want to learn too. Aside, Chen Anan suddenly blushed and said something. Chen Loyan was slightly startled and cast a puzzled look. Feeling her sister's gaze, Chen Anan's face instantly turned red, and she turned her head aside, not daring to look at her sister. Seeing this, Chen Loyan naturally understood her sister's thoughts immediately. This guy just doesn't want to be alone with Soo-young, right? Okay, to guard against thieves, you have to guard against your own sister, right? Although, Chen Loyan couldn't deny that she did have such a slight affection for Soo-young. But sister, this is a bit too exaggerated, right? Faced with the requests of the two sisters, Soo-young found an excuse to shirk. Seeing the slightly disappointed expressions of the two of them, Soo-young felt that he couldn't bear it. But the three people's attention was quickly diverted by other things. As they walked out of the restaurant, they received contact information from the law enforcement agency. Please report to the Law Enforcement Bureau within 2 hours and cooperate with the investigation, thank you. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.